Okay, so today we're going to start univariate data. So univariate data is when we will use like one piece of information. So it's like from the source. So one piece of information. So what I mean by that, so from source. So what we mean by that, so if I went and collected all your heights, so I just got your height, that's the one piece, that's the one piece of data. When we move into bivariate data, we're getting two pieces of information from the source. So we might have your height and weight from everyone. So that's two. So univariate, we're just going to look at one piece of information. And the information, or we could say the variable that we're collecting, we like to describe what type of variable it is, because we later on you're going to see we display, when we collect data, we display the different variables in different ways. So what we've done here is we have generally what we can start off. We get this one variable, okay? And then there's a way to categorize it. So you first of all, it's either categorical data or it is numerical data. So sometimes I say data or variable, okay? So let's look first at categorical data. So categorical data is when it's like a category. So it's generally, so it's like like a actual physical thing, or so say like hair color, that's a category. But sometimes it can be a little bit more trickier, because sometimes their names sound a bit different. So let's go through this. Anyway, we've got two types of categorical data. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the first one, is the ordinal one. So ordinal, so it's when you have a category, but there's some type of order to it. So if you look here, we've got some examples. So when we say shoe size, even though it has a sort of a number sounding thing, like a size 7, size 8, it's still a category. It's not actually, you're not actually measuring or recording like the length of your foot. You're getting put into a category of a size 7 or a size 8 and that. So ordinal, what it is, so when you have the categories, so if you think about shoe size, you know that a size 10 is bigger than a size 7. So you do know there's some order to it. So another type of ordinal data, when you do surveys and they go to, oh, you strongly agree, you slightly agree, to strongly disagree, that's categorical. So you're being put into a category. But you understand that if you're in the strong and your friends in the strongly agree and your friends in strongly disagree, we know there's a difference. You're right at the polar opposites. So that has some order. Some other examples, and I encourage you to put them in there as you come across them. If you thought, oh, I wouldn't have known that that's that one, pop it in here. So that's why this page, and there's a bit of breaks. But some of the other things are, like when you go to a pizza shop, and you get like a small, medium, large. Okay, so that's still category, because a small pizza is smaller than a large pizza. So there's things like that. So when you put into a category, now also I've got there, when you're put into an age category, so like under 50s, over 50s, or 20 to 25, that's just a category. It's not actually, we don't actually write how many years you are actually old. We pop you into a category. So that's also, so something else that might come up is, like if we said year level, like if you're in year 7, so I mean 7, 8, 9, etc., that would be a categorical. There's a bit of order there. Okay, so then you've got your other, so that was ordinal. Then you have nominal. Nominal is when it's a categorical, but there's no ranking or no order to it. So say we walked around, we asked everyone in this class what color their car was that they came to school today. That there's no order in red and blue and green. So that's called nominal. Say the other thing often comes up in data collecting, is gender, whether you're male, female, or whatever. That's another nominal. There's no order to it. One of the tricky ones of past in year 12 is actually, so I'll just pop it here, so hopefully you remember. They brought up in an exam, they talked about postcodes. So you know how here might be 3029. The next suburb over might be 3033. There was actually no order to postcodes, but even though it has a number, it's still just a category. And postcodes are just given as the next suburb rises up. So a suburb might, come up, down near Geelong, and then the next one might be just around the corner. So there's no order to it. So that was a nominal one. It did throw a lot of kids off that one. So we'll just pop that in there. All right. So that was if we had categorical data, we had two types. It could be nominal or ordinal. Now let's look at numerical data. So if we have numerical data, we have two types. We've got discrete and we've got continuous. Okay, so if we want to look at these two, let's look at discrete first. So discrete it's like when you collect the data, and a good way to remember this one and right underneath is that it was counted. So you actually counted it. So say we went around the class and we asked how many the number of TVs you have. You are actually going to count it. It's not going to be, you're not going to have an in-between number, like say 3.5 TVs, are you? You're going to have a dead set. You got 3, 4, whatever, number. So that is discrete. Now, I know I've put ages here. So if we went round to the ages, now just I want you to write underneath that. That's only if we counted the years. So if for example, so when I go around and I ask you, how old are you? You say 16, 16, 17, that's years. You're just counting it. So that's okay. If you are doing what we have to be careful of, say we were counting how many, or we're looking at measuring how long a plant had been living for, or a bacteria, and we were measuring the hours. We might get, it depends how you measure it. If you get if you can get a half hour, that might be called continuous. So just write a little note up here. Be careful, it's how it's collected. It's how data is collected. Okay, so let's go look at the other one, the continuous. So continuous, a good way to know that you have a continuous data is that it's measured. So say for your height, your weight, you're measuring it. Say another one over here, it could be, time taken to run 100 meters. Okay, so we might have measured everyone. We would see how we would measure. We're measuring how long it took to do it. So time in that case is continuous, but say time as age, how many years, just counting, that would be discrete. So you've got to be really careful. And just so we'll go through some, and then you'll see you have to be really careful. So this little note here, it's not the name. The variable name itself doesn't tell you whether it is numerical or categorical. It's the way it was collected or recorded. So remember, because I remember if you're a shoe size, you'd see on the data, say on your collecting sheet, you'd have a 7, 8. So that looks like a number, but it's not numerical data. It's actually categorical. So we've put an example here. So we might have had 2 surveys. In the first survey, we went round and we recorded everyone's weight in kilograms. So that would be numerical because you measured it. Yeah? We measured everyone individually. If we went through, we did another survey and you got up to the part where it says weight, and we recorded a number 1 if you were underweight, 2 if you were normal weight, and 3 if you were overweight. Well, we're still giving you a sort of a 1, 2, and 3, and we're talking about weight, but it's actually we're popping you into a categorical. So that's categorical weight, okay? That's a categorical variable. So you got to be really careful. The reason they would do this is we sort of saw in matrices, you know, when we get data, the computers aren't going to like, you know, having the variable underweight there. They're going to want data. They want a unit, a digit. So that's where they would put a 1 and a 2 so that they can sort things out. All right. All right. So let's have a look at these examples. I'll do them with you. So classify the following variables as categorical or numerical. Okay. So the students choose their favorite pet from a dog, cat, bird, or other. What type of data? Is it numerical or categorical? Yeah, this is categorical. The animal choice was categorical. And then the time in seconds taken to solve a puzzle. What's the time in seconds to solve a puzzle? What do you think that is?
Continuous.
Yeah, good. So let's go. So it's numerical first, and then good. The subcategory would be continuous. All right, what about up here, the dog, cat, bird, or other? It's categorical, but is it nominal or ordinal?
Nominal.
Good, excellent. That one's nominal. All right, the next one, we're going to classify them whether they're nominal or ordinal. So the age group of people recorded, a group of people recorded their level of happiness: very happy, happy, not too happy, or very unhappy. So what's that? Is it ordinal or nominal? It's categorical. Ordinal. So let's just do, we'll write that it's categorical. And then what's its next subcategory? Ordinal. Because I know someone who's very happy is the complete opposite to someone who's very unhappy. All right, students select their favorite country to visit. Is that a category? Yes. And what is it? Nominal. Good. Oh, sorry, I spelled that wrong. Categorical, and this one's nominal. All right, let's keep going. What about the number of children in the family is recorded for all students in a school? Is it, first of all, is it numerical or categorical? Numerical. And what type of numerical? Good, discrete. Because you couldn't have half a kid, yeah? Okay, birth weight of babies measured in grams. So there's a little giveaway. Is recorded in a hospital. So it's numerical, but what is it? Continuous. Good. Continuous. Okay, and classify the following as either nominal, ordinal, discrete, or continuous. So let's go. The number of students in each of the 10 classes is counted. So counted, what do we think that is? Discrete. Good. So it would be numerical, discrete. The time taken for 20 mice to each complete the maze was recorded in seconds. Yep, continuous, because you could have half a second probably, so they were sort of measuring. Diners at a restaurant were asked to rate how they felt about their meal. A 1 meant they were very satisfied, 2 satisfied, blah, 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 blah. 5 equals very dissatisfied. What type of data is that? Ordinal, isn't it? Yeah, so a category, but there's some order. Students chose from a list of 1 equals blue, 2 green, and so on. So what's that one? It's a category. Yeah, so, and it's nominal. Okay, good. And heights were classified as less than 160 or 60 to 180 or over 180. What's that? Yeah, good. So it's ordinal. It's still categorical, even though we're talking about height, but it's chucking you into a category which has some order.